Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Tonight at 10, a terrifying incident when a bullet comes through a home and hits a child's bed frame. What neighbors are saying about the shocking scene.
And Connecticut, dry as a bone, and drought conditions are only getting worse. But does that mean we'll have to start conserving water? We ask state officials.
Plus, more cases of monkeypox in our state as the country starts to take notice and take action. What Connecticut health officials are encouraging people to do to keep them safe.
Well, right now we're learning new details about a shooting in broad daylight in the city of Norwich. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Ben Goldman. One person already in custody in that double shooting. This is what it looked like earlier this afternoon in the city, shortly after gunshots rang out in the heart of downtown. Fox
61's Alicia Machado is live in Norwich tonight with more on this investigation. Alicia.
Well, investigators say that the people involved in this shooting were in a fight that escalated. Police arrested an 18-year-old suspect who faces charges for attempted murder and assault. Now, tonight, police are also looking for the driver of a car that left the scene after this shooting. They are wanted for questioning.
Disturbing. Downtown area. I mean, we're supposed to be safe here.
Norwich neighbors still trying to process what happened in downtown Thursday morning. Two people shot near Main Street and Franklin Street, according to Norwich police. Police were called to the area around 11:30 Thursday morning on report of shots fired. The suspect, 18-year-old Jamel Pires from Norwich, was taken into custody. Police say he left the area with a gun and was later found and arrested. Neighbors on Oak Street, about a quarter-mile away, tell Fox 61 they witnessed those moments.
What I saw earlier today was just shocking. I stepped out of my apartment and I saw a guy running up the street. Being followed by him were a bunch of police cars and people telling him to get on the ground and don't move.
Police say this all started when a fight got out of hand. Two victims who were found with gunshot wounds were taken to the hospital and later released.
I'm a little worried about the safety of other people if anybody can get a gun.
Police say the driver of a car that left the scene is also wanted for questioning. Norwich police are looking for a black 2021 Nissan Rogue that left the area after the shooting. The rental car has a smashed out driver's side window with a license plate BC 98410. Now, if you know anything about what happened, contact Norwich PD. Pires is being held on a $750,000 bond and is expected to appear in court tomorrow. We're live in Norwich tonight. Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.
All right, thank you, Alicia. And new at 10, a dangerously close call for a 9-year-old child in Newington. Police say a bullet came through the boy's bedroom and was found lodged in his bed frame. The shooting happened on John Street late Wednesday night. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the incident certainly shook up the neighbors.
I heard like this big boom. I thought it was a firework at first, but then I figured out it was a gunshot, so felt pretty alarmed by that.
It's a bit shocking. It's a little concerning. I got 3 kids of my own in that age range.
Now, if you saw anything or have any information that could help Newington police, give them a call.
Let's get to the weather watch here tonight. And for most of us, it was another hot, humid day out there. But man, for those who saw some rain, that rain was intense. Downtown Hartford here hit with a passing downpour earlier this evening.
Yeah, but of course, after the rain always comes the rainbow. There it is. This beautiful shot over the Bushnell was just moments after the rain let up. It moved out of the downtown area. It was really stunning, and we kept catching it on the live cam too. So all eyes though are on the weekend, I think it's fair to say.
Meteorologist Ryan Brenton joining us now in for Rachel Frank. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ben and Sarah. We will have more rain in spots over the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up, but want to show you this. This is the definition of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. We'll play the radar through, going right through Hartford, and then actually the storm got stronger as it moved into eastern Connecticut. Several reports of wind damage from Columbia to Willimantic over to Windham. A couple of thousand customers without power as well. Take a look at this picture from Stacy in Columbia, just showing the trees down on the road there. Some of the roads in Columbia were tough to travel and get around. This one there impassable. And in West Hartford, actually, Karen sending in this picture of a tent in her neighbor's yard, which blew over onto her car. So that was an impressive little storm that moved through central Connecticut earlier. Tonight, though, we're nice and quiet. We've got a great day ahead tomorrow, and then some changes for the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up.
All right, thank you, Ryan. And we've had some rain over the last couple of days. Keyword some, but it's not helping the state and the ongoing drought conditions.
The entire state now under a stage 2 drought conditions, which means that people are now being asked to try and conserve water where they can. Fox 61's Gabby Molina joining us live in Hartford with what you need to know. Gabby?
Ben, sir, it was quite the downpour that we got here in Hartford, but it was super short-lived, and it certainly wasn't enough to make up for the lack of rainfall that we've been dealing with. And here's one effect of what we're talking about. Take a look behind me. The fire danger today is high. That's one of the factors that experts look at when they're deciding whether to move the state into these different stages of drought. People all across Connecticut being asked to be mindful of the amount of water they're using. All 8 counties now under stage 2 drought conditions.
Basically saying, hey, we're getting close to declaring drought. We need to make you aware. We want you to start preparing in case we get to that level.
There are 5 stages, and the current one signals an emerging drought event. That means people are asked to start voluntarily taking steps to minimize future impact, doing things like avoiding washing your car, planting any new vegetation, or watering your lawn often.
That's a large consumption of water. So one of the things to do is to reduce that. Does it need to be done every day? Can it be done every other day or, 3 times a week, 2 times a week?
The state's interagency drought working group looks at a number of factors to make its recommendations, including groundwater, fire danger conditions, and precipitation.
We look at the rainfall, and we know that we've been down, 1 to 2 below normal this past month, and, almost 5-6 inches since the beginning of the year that we're down in our precipitation.
It also looks at stream flow. For example, the Pomperaug River is in what's called a low flow period.
It's a matter of the precipitation that we have not been getting, as well as what is the current state of the water table.
The town of Southbury and the Pomperaug River Watershed Coalition have also been asking people in the area to reduce their water consumption to protect the fish in the water.
There's still ample water, but you're going to start to see some changes in the habitat availability at that level.
The last time Connecticut reached stage 2 drought conditions was in 2020, but experts say we could move into the next stage soon.
With our above normal temperatures we're having right now and no significant rainfall in sight, it's almost imminent that we are going to be moving, to another stage, coming up at some point.
Stage 3 would mean moderate drought, and that would create more of a sense of urgency, but it would still be voluntary water conservation. It wouldn't be until stage 4 that we would start seeing that be mandatory. Live in Hartford, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
All right, thank you, Gabby. Yeah, a lot to think about as we aren't getting enough rain. Thank you so much. A crazy scene down in North Stonington. A tractor trailer crashes into this restaurant. The crash happened this morning at Bon Appetito along Route 2. The business owner and his son were inside the building at the time, but weren't hurt. The truck driver suffered minor injuries. The owner said he planned on reopening in the afternoon and closing off the damaged section.
Well, new at 10 tonight, a Connecticut woman is under arrest, charged in connection with a murder case out of Bridgeport. U.S. Marshals arrested 21-year-old Melanie Castro this morning. Castro was tracked down all the way to Tennessee, where she was taken into custody. The other suspect accused in the murder case, Glenn Pettaway Jr., died by suicide after an hours-long standoff with police. A man is dead after police say he was hit by a car in Bristol overnight. Just after midnight, police responded to Middle Street near the Southington town line and found the 36-year-old victim lying right in the road. The victim was rushed to the hospital, didn't make it. The driver involved in that crash wasn't heard. Police are now looking for anyone who might have seen the crash to please come forward.
Well, new documents reveal Alex Jones's deposition responses as part of a lawsuit filed by Sandy Hook families. Court transcripts reveal Jones was defiant and frequently cited his First Amendment rights, insisting he wasn't responsible for the suffering of Sandy Hook parents. Some of those parents have sued the conspiracy theorist for calling the deaths of their children a hoax. A trial set to begin in August in Connecticut to determine how much Jones owes those families.
Well, turning now to the COVID-19 crisis here in Connecticut, and state health officials continuing to monitor the metrics throughout this pandemic. Just in the last 7 days here, the state's positivity rate has reached a rolling average of 10.5%. Hospitalizations are continuing to rise, with 29 additional people hospitalized in that same time span. There were 30 more deaths related to COVID-19 in the last week. And the COVID situation may not be nearly as dire as it was a year ago, but the World Health Organization is still considering COVID-19 a global health emergency as of tonight. A committee comprised of independent experts say that this is due to rising cases, ongoing viral evolution, and the strain on health services in many countries. Cases have risen 30% in the last 2 weeks, although hospitalizations and deaths are said to be down thanks to vaccines and growing population immunity.
There are now 11 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Connecticut. That's according to the State Department of Health. We don't know how these patients have contracted monkeypox, but cases are increasing all across the U.S. Monkeypox is contagious, with symptoms appearing within days. It can be treated with antiviral medication, and doctors say most people recover on their own. There's a vaccine for monkeypox, although in limited supply here in Connecticut. But if you think you've been exposed to someone with monkeypox, the best thing you can do is contact the health department for a vaccine, even after exposure.
That vaccine can be given after exposure, so what we call post-exposure prophylaxis. So important to know that if you do come in contact with someone who has monkeypox, inquiring to determine if you're eligible for that post-exposure vaccine is really important.
Health officials are still trying to determine what sort of public health crisis monkeypox poses to Connecticut. And more on that monkeypox vaccine, U.S. health officials say the U.S. will be getting more of the vaccine from Denmark. There's an increase in demand for the vaccine in New York and California. About 1.1 million doses have passed inspection in Europe and will ship out soon.